Joining us now is Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, former Democratic candidate for president. Senator, thank you so much for being with us tonight. It's a real pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. It's good to be here with you.
So you were impassioned and you had your jaw set in those comments, and you absolutely had all of the other people there with you. What did you mean by the fight is just beginning? How can you characterize for us how the fight is going to go?
Well, let's start with what's on the line. I mean, you've already started talking about this, but recognize we're talking about a Supreme Court nomination and confirmation that could touch the lives of every single person in this country. Start with health care. We know that the Affordable Care Act that expanded health care to tens of millions of Americans, that protects people who have pre-existing conditions, that keeps people 26 and younger on their parents' policies. We know that went all the way to the Supreme Court, and by a decision of 5-4, the Supreme Court said, we're hanging on to it. It's constitutional. So then the Republicans said, darn, we can't get rid of this thing in the courts. We're going to take it to Congress. So as soon as Donald Trump was sworn in and the Republicans had control of the House, control of the Senate, and control of the White House, they said, we're going to repeal the Affordable Care Act. We're going to take away protection for people with pre-existing conditions. We're going to repeal health care coverage for millions of Americans. And they lost again. That was the vote in 2016. And now they're trying again through the courts. And this November, the Affordable Care Act will be in front of the United States Supreme Court. They will have to decide if it is constitutional. And what Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell are hoping is if they can get in another justice, what was 5-4, to say that, of course, the Affordable Care Act is constitutional, they may now be able to flip to 5-4 the other way, denying millions of people access to health care and cutting out people who have diabetes, people who've had cancer, people who've had serious pre-existing conditions. And that just gets us started with what's at stake here.
Do you believe that Roe versus Wade will be overturned if a Trump nominee is put on the court? This is something that we've described and talked about and I think worried over and fought about for a generation now, since Roe has been in the precarious position that it's been in on the court. It seems to me now that the math is unequivocal, that if there is a Trump nominee on the court, because he said he will only nominate justices who he believes will overturn Roe, that it's basically a sure thing that the right to an abortion will disappear the first time they can get a case up there to do it.
Well, I think it might be. And that's why we need to fight. This is about women's health care. This is about women's ability to make a decision over their own bodies. And, you know, we've already heard from senators who have said they're not voting for anyone who hasn't made it clear they're willing to overturn Roe versus Wade. That's another piece of what is at stake here. And understand, on health care, on Roe versus Wade, on the right to join a union, on environmental issues, climate change in this country, on gun safety, on every one of these issues. What the Republicans have done is they have tilted the Supreme Court. They want to tilt it further so that it doesn't reflect the values of the majority of Americans. Most Americans, about 3 out of 4 Americans, want to see Roe versus Wade preserved as the law of the land, want to see people have access to health care coverage, want to see people able to join a union, employees to be able to come together and bargain together, want to see our dreamers protected. And yet, by carefully filtering who gets nominated to the United States Supreme Court, by stealing a second seat on the United States Supreme Court, what Donald Trump and the Republicans are planning to do is to have that court impose a will on the American people that is not who we are and not the America we want to be.